Hello students, how are you? Hope all of you are fine. So welcome to you to this class. In the previous class we have read about our environment and the chapter was quietly focusing on the hazards of environmental pollution and what can be done to prevent it. At the same time, what is the role of human beings in order to stop the environmental pollution. Okay, so due to pollution a number of things are taking place. Disease, global warming, greenhouse effect, all these things are coming into focus. So here in today's class we are going to read impact of global warming, means what is the effect of it on the larger humanity is being clearly mentioned in this chapter. So let us start. A large number of scientists have come to the conclusion that global mean temperature of the planet is likely to rise in the range of 1.4 to 8.5 degrees Celsius by 2100 in relation to 1990. It means here a number of scientists, they are thinking, not only thinking, they are assuming that global mean temperature will be more than today, what it is. As it is right now means not in the year 2020. This chapter means this article is written before 20 years. So at that time it is being mentioned. So at that time it was 1.4 degrees Celsius and it will be 5.8 degrees Celsius. Okay. The scientific basis of this prediction is contained in the recent report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. So what is that? IPCC. IPCC. Full form is Climate Change. Working Group 1. The question of impact of climate change on natural and human systems has been studied by the Working Group 2 of the IPCC. So, there are two groups, Group 1 and Group 2. Group 2, they are focusing what will be the impact of this global warming on our environment as well as on the people. And its report, released in February 2001, assesses the sensitivity, adaptability and vulnerability of natural and human system to the projected climate change scenarios. So, and they, according to their reports, human beings, not only human beings, as well as the complete world will be highly affected due to this climate change. The report carries the authority of 183 lead authors and 243 contributing authors. So, the report is carrying 183 lead authors as well as 243 contributing authors, means they are the site workers, means they are also contributing something, they are not the lead authors. It represents the scientific consensus on this issue. 440 expert reviewers have reviewed the findings in the report, which was approved by 100 IPCC members in a conference held in Geneva 13 to 16 January 2001. IPCC scientists predict black and grim future for the planet, means it is not good, black and grim. So here in the Geneva conference, the scientists, they are focusing that the future of the planet is not good. Okay. One disturbing finding of the report is that global warming is already upon us. Preliminary indication shows that changes in regional climate and extreme weather have already affected many physical and biological systems. Increased frequency of floods and drought in different parts of the world is also attributed to the increase in global mean temperature. Shrinkage of glaciers, melting of ice sheets, lengthening of growing seasons in mid to high latitudes, northward shift of plant and animal habitat boundaries, early flowering of trees, etc. are some examples of the effect of global warming. So here, what are the effects of global warming? Effects are shrinkage of glacier, melting of ice sheets, lengthening of seasons, So here, due to all these things, due to this global temperature as it is increasing, all these changes are taking place. So we are going towards, to some extent, destruction. Next, what is mentioned? So at the same time, not only environment is being affected, but human being, animal as well as the trees are highly affected by this global warming. Human survival is closely linked to the health of the environment. This is correct. That our survival is completely depending on the health of the environment. If the environment is not polluted, we can lead a good life. Agriculture, fisheries, human settlements are particularly sensitive to climate. So agriculture, what are the things which is particularly sensitive to climate? Agriculture, fishery and human settlement. Look, for example, we are living here. Okay, we can't live happily in Jammu and Kashmir because our body is adapted to this environment. And economic sectors like industry, insurance and financial services are also dependent upon environmental conditions. While rich and well-resourced communities may adapt to climate change at some cost, the poor may not be able to do so. Adaptability in turn depends upon resources, technology, education, skill, infrastructure and management capabilities. So what will happen? The countries, they are having good resource, they are rich, they can be adapted to the situation easily, but the poor will be the worst sufferer in it. The poorer nations are weak in most of these areas. Cost of adaptation will increase as global warming takes hold. Global warming would produce net economic losses in many developing countries. The problem of coping with climate change is made worse by existing problems like population growth, etc. So what will happen? There will be climatic change. There will be lots of problems for us to face, and in addition to this, population is increasing very fast. So this is an extra burden on the larger humanity. A wide impact of natural and human systems. So what will have the effect? How this environmental pollution or how this global warming will contribute to human as well as natural system. A wide range of impacts are predicted by scientists. These range from sea level rise to destruction of ecological system. Every aspect of society will be affected. So there will be sea level. Don't think that I or you only will be affected. The complete world, the complete earth will be affected by this global warming. Global warming will bring about major changes in water distribution and have impact on water resource. The flow of water stream located in high latitude and Southeast Asia will increase, while it will decrease in Central Asia, Southern Africa, Australia and the Mediterranean. So, in some cases, water resource will increase. Means they will get more water. But in some part of the world, people will get less water. Most glaciers will shrink while smaller glaciers will disappear. And the big glaciers will shrink and the smaller one will be disappear completely. Water stress in lower latitude will increase. Higher evaporation due to higher temperatures will lead to greater demand for water for irrigation purposes. Water system which are not managed or poorly managed will be degraded further. So if the water resource is not managed properly or if it is poorly managed, then once again there will be problem for it. Rainfall patterns will change considerably. Monsoons will possibly become more intense, causing greater flooding. So monsoon will come, but it will be quite intense, quite deep, and there will be not only rain but there will be flood also. More rain will fall in shorter periods. This is already happening in southern African regions. The northern latitude will also become wetter and humid. At the same time, dry and semi-land regions will probably become even drier. The change in precipitation will have impact on local agriculture and vegetation. So at the same time, monsoon will come, but it will be more intense. What does it mean? Means in some parts of the world, there will be heavy rainfall in less time period. Means time will be short, but rainfall will be more. And as a result, it also will affect the world and human beings. The effect on crops will be vary depending upon many factors such as the type of plant, properties of soil, the interaction between CO2 and agricultural growth process. Although the increased amount of CO2 in the atmosphere is generally beneficial to vegetation growth, the growth depends on many other factors such as water availability, soil condition. So many times what are we thinking? Carbon dioxide is essential for photosynthesis. Okay, but think, if there will be more carbon dioxide, photosynthesis will take place, but at the same time, this process is not only taking CO2, it is also taking other things like sunlight, water, etc., etc. So if CO2 will be available but water will not be available, how can this take place? So it also will affect this one. The IPCC projections show that overall food production will decrease, particularly at the higher end of the predicted global warming range. So the scientists, IPCC scientists, they have provoked, means they have spoken that globally food production will be decreased. Terrestrial and freshwater ecosystem are at risk from climate change. Freshwater fish will migrate coalward. The habitat for cold and cool water fish will be destroyed. Many species of fish will be endangered or destroyed. So, the freshwater and terrestrial animals, they also will suffer. At the same time, it is also mentioned that many species of fish will be endangered or destroyed. Means varieties of fish family will be destroyed completely, or they will have to face the problem. Climate change will have major influence on the oceans. Decrease in sea ice cover, changes in water salinity, alteration of ocean circulation, currents can be expected. Due to the coupling between the ocean and the atmosphere, changes in the oceans will turn interface with atmospheric circulation. Many marine ecosystems will be affected. So here, what will happen? There will be change in water salinity, alteration of ocean circulation current. So a number of other factors are there that also will affect the seawater. At the same time, the marine ecosystem also will be affected. Don't think that people who are living on soil, living on earth, they will be affected. No, people who are living in water also, not people, animals or insects, those who are living in water, they also will be affected. In the coastal area, flooding will increase and land erosion will accelerate. And in coastal area, there will be more flood and soil erosion will increase. Wetlands, mangrove will be degraded or destroyed, and wetland mangrove, they also will be, means these things will be destroyed. Seawater will contaminate freshwater sources, and what will happen? Freshwater sources will be contaminated by the seawater level. Severity of storm will increase. Coral reef, atolls and their biological system will be affected. So at the same time, there will be severity of cyclone, means a lot of natural calamities also will come. Look, there is only one reason, that is global warming, but it can affect number of things. Human health will be at risk. Many vector-borne, foodborne and waterborne infectious diseases will expand their range. So at the same time, human health also will be at risk. A number of diseases will come. The incidence of malaria and dengue, which currently affect 40 to 50% of the global population, will increase. Increased heat waves would lead to more heat-related fatalities. Recurrent flooding will bring in its wake more diarrheal and respiratory disease. And at the same time, as flood will increase and it will be from time to time. So this one also will bring a number of disease. And people will suffer from diarrhea as well as respiratory disease. Floods and storms will also reduce food production and increase food insecurity. And as there will be flood and there will be storm, it also will decrease the amount of food production. Malnutrition will rise among poorer societies, and in poorer societies there will be malnutrition, means people will be deficit from vitamins. Socio-economic impact of climate change will be severe. Many economic sectors, particularly physical infrastructure, will be affected by climate change. At the same time, a number of economic sector also will be affected, particularly the physical infrastructures. Flooding and landslide and sea level rise coupled with uneven rainfall and extreme weather could lead to human migration. And it's in some parts of the world there will be landslides and there will be uneven rainfall. If there will be no rainfall, how can people live? So all these things will lead to migration, means people will migrate from one place to another place. This will aggravate living condition in overcrowded human settlement. Industrial transportation and commercial infrastructure will be degraded by floods and other climate-induced phenomena. So at the same time, the people, if they will shift to a newer place, then what will happen? There will be congestion of place and people won't be able to get sufficient space to live. And likewise, there will be shortage of job, there will be shortage of work, and people also will suffer from malnutrition. More energy will be required for cooling purpose in the areas affected by high temperature, and more air will be needed in order to cool the place that is affected by the high temperature. The cost of extreme weather event borne by insurance and financial services will increase. So global economic losses increase due to catastrophic event. And as a result, not only this one means more air, cool air will be needed in order to cool some places, but at the same time, insurance and global economic will be highly affected, and they will have to face heavy loss due to this catastrophic event, due to this event. Okay, thank you.